I wanted to share about an ego trick that I noticed in my mind. And I think this is why watching our mind and our thoughts carefully is so helpful and so important. And this is why Jesus tells us that we are too tolerant to mind wandering. And we're not watching our mind carefully enough. And I noticed that sometimes, and maybe even often, when I receive the guidance and it's something related to the form, doing something in form, I notice the game that the ego plays. First, it gives me a hypothetical outcome, possible outcome that could happen through me taking the step. And first it gives me, and it doesn't matter what is the order, but first it gives me the outcome that is the worst. And there is this situation, like sometimes it comes like an image in our mind, or it's like oftentimes it's an image, almost like thoughts, series of thoughts, and it says, it imagines how the situation is going to be, and it imagines it to go really, really bad. And as a result of that thought, of that hypothetical imagining, we feel bad. There is embarrassment, there is shame, there is uncomfortableness, some kind of pain, hurt. That comes, and we may buy into it or not, but I notice that it comes. And I think when you are practicing watching your mind, the more you practice that, the more you are able not to believe in these thoughts. So when the scenario comes up in the mind of the ego, then you are like, okay. And I noticed that after a while, several minutes, or I don't know, an hour, I don't know, there will come another scenario, and in this scenario everything will go the best, like best outcome in terms of the form, in terms of the personality. It always plays with your self-esteem, sense of self, like as a person. And the second outcome, for example, will be the best outcome. You get all the approval, you impress, you feel like validated, you receive the credit, you are amazing as a person. And it boosts your pride, like that. It boosts your pride. And then you see it plays with your emotional state. And actually both states are not true states. Like that's why when we make prayers, we don't pray for outcomes, because both of these are of the ego, because both of these strengthen the personal identity, as if I am this person, Nana doing something, Nana being great, or Nana being a complete loser. It's all about the person. So it creates this, it gives you the both options, and it tells you wait for the worst, be ready for the worst, or it gives you really, really high standard in terms of the form. And again, if this scenario comes to your mind and you believe in it right away, and you don't see it as just a thought or just a scenario, then when the things unfold, you always evaluate that situation from that lens, from that standard always. And anything less than that standard will take you to the worst scenario, worst thought that you had first. So it locks you in these two possibilities, and both of them are connected. It's actually the same thought. Me failing and me succeeding as a person, it's all the same. You have a coin, you have it, and it's like these two scenarios are two different sides of the same coin. And this is why we practice of noticing these outcomes coming to our mind, and instead of thinking in terms of outcomes of validation or what happens in the form, how things happen in the form, we practice focusing on our state of mind right now, like present state of mind, present state of freedom, present state of peace, and this connection. And I'm here for that. I'm here for God right now. And I'm here for healing. And when I am in that situation, I'm there to be available, to be used, to give. And I'm there to notice the thoughts that come to my mind and the untrue beliefs that have a grip on me. That's the only reason I'm there. I'm not there for any specific outcome. So from that perspective, no matter what happens is perfect, because that shows me what is in my mind, shows me the content of my mind, shows me the thoughts and the beliefs that I have in my mind. And sometimes we don't feel good, and that's okay too. That's fine too. We have all these thoughts, and that's fine too. But it's so helpful to see. And then when you see these two outcomes coming to you from the ego, then actually you can let go of those outcomes and instead choose how you want to feel, what you want to experience. And that's what Jesus is telling us in the setting the goal section. Before you enter into any situation, how do you want to feel? What do you want to receive? And we always want to receive an experience, not an outcome, but an experience. When we think we want to succeed, we think that we want to succeed because it will make us feel a certain way. That's the only reason. But Jesus says you don't have to depend on the outcomes. You can just decide how you want to feel in any given situation, in any given moment. It's your choice. You can choose it. So I wanted to share this trick because I see it again and again in my mind, and it's so, wow. Wow, what a trick. What a trick. Such a play. Wow, such a play. And if we are untrained, and if we believe any thoughts that come into our mind, can you imagine what chaos it is? The ego doesn't matter what you think. Like, that's why positive thoughts do not work. Only an undoing works, not just thinking positive thoughts or affirming things. That's why it doesn't work. It is of the ego. It always flips. It always flips because it's duality. It's the opposites. And you cannot avoid the opposite of what you believe. If you believe that something is good in this world, something is kind in this world, person can be kind in any way, then you will also see the persons, or as in yourself, you will see unkindness, cruelty, That's why we have to go all the way. We have to see the trick of it, trick in the good and trick in the bad. So this is really fun for me. This is fun of watching our mind. This is fun of mind training. This is freedom. True freedom, being aware, is being free.